71 suggestions and explanations. In reported speech, you can replace said with a wide variety of verbs that give people more information about how someone said something. New language reporting verbs with that are vocabulary more reporting verbs. New skill reporting explanations. 71.1 key language reporting verbs with that. Say and tell. Do not give any information about the speaker's manner. You can replace them with other verbs that suggest the speaker's mood or reason for speaking. Acts. I'm not very good at golf. Neil admitted that he wasn't very good at golf. Shows reluctance on the part of the speaker. Reporting verbs with that do not take an object. 71.2 further examples reporting verbs with that. Don't be afraid of the dog. He's just excited to see you. They explained that the dog was barking because he was excited to see me. Your house is beautiful. It has a nice lawn, too. Rohit admired our house and added that it had a nice lawn. 71.3 How to form sentences using reporting verbs with that. Subject. Reporting verb. Past tense. That. Past tense. Neil admitted. Verb introduces reported speech and gives more information about it. 244. That. My. He wasn't very good at golf. Verb is followed by that. Single quote. Reported speech changes tense as usual. RR 71.4 match the definitions to the reporting verbs. Had the same opinion as someone. Gave reasons to support an idea. Said something extra. Said that something is true without being happy about it. Said something that is difficult to believe. He said he liked his new job and added that his colleagues were friendly. They said the weather was good. I agreed that it was beautiful. I admitted that I hadn't worked hard enough. She claimed that she never watched TV, but I don't believe her. My manager argued that we had to cut our costs because profits were down. 71.5 Rewrite the sentences, correcting the errors. They explained me I was wrong. They explained that I was wrong. We added the plan would save them money. She agreed that his CV is excellent. She argued me that their office was too small. He admit that crime was a big problem. 6 He claimed as he could fly a helicopter. 71.6 Listen to the audio, then mark the correct order of the summary sentences. Mr. Kelly talks to his personal trainer about his general health and fitness. The personal trainer claimed that his diet and exercise plan would help Mr. Kelly live longer. Mr. Kelly admitted that his health and fitness were a real problem. Mr. Kelly agreed that he should try the personal trainer's plan. Filled right pointing small triangle. The personal trainer added that his healthy recipes were really delicious. The personal trainer explained that the diet would help Mr. Kelly lose weight. 245. 246. 71.7 Read the report and answer the questions. The director admitted that profits were down. True, false, not given. She explained that the products were low quality. True, false, not given. She added that they were selling in new markets. True, false, not given. She argued that advertising should double. True, false, not given. She claimed that sales would increase every year. True, false, not given. Notes for annual financial meeting. Noriko Hayashi, sales director. Profits are up again this year by 15%, our third annual increase. This is because all our products are cheaper to make and better quality since we invested in new machinery. We are also now currently selling our products in new markets that have great potential for expansion. If we double our advertising efforts, we can increase our sales by 35% over 2 years. 71.8 Say the sentences out loud as reported speech, filling in the gaps and using the verb in brackets. You might not believe me, but I can speak 20 different languages. Opening parenthesis. Claim. He claimed that he could speak 20 different languages. I don't exercise as regularly as I should. I need to work out more often. Opening parenthesis. Admit. She. To work out more often. I have to leave work early today because I have a doctor's appointment. Opening parenthesis. Explain. He. Leave work early for a doctor's appointment. We have 4 children, and we also have a dog and 2 cats. Opening parenthesis. Add. She. A dog and 2 cats. You're right, Mr. Brady is a very important client, and we should meet him again. Opening parenthesis. Agree. He. A very important client. 71.9 A common mistakes reported speech with suggest, suggest, is different from other reporting verbs. It is still followed by that, but the part of the sentence that reports the direct speech uses the infinitive without to. Single quote. I don't feel like cooking. Should we order a pizza? Suggest is followed by the infinitive without to. Single quote. Ryan suggested that we order a pizza. Ryan suggested that we ordered a pizza. X. This is wrong. E. 71.10 Cross out the incorrect words in each sentence. He admitted, suggested that he had stolen a lot of money. They said the party was fun and suggested, added that the band was fantastic. She argued, suggested that they go to the beach this weekend. She suggested, explained that she had to go home because she was feeling sick. She agreed, claimed that she was once a famous singer. You said her dress was beautiful. I agreed, suggested that it was very pretty. He suggested, added that I start cycling to work because cars cause pollution. Reporting verbs with that. Are more reporting verbs. Reporting explanations. 247. 71 Checklist. 72 Telling people what to do. Many reporting verbs have to take an object. English often uses these verbs to show that the speaker was giving someone orders or advice. New language verbs with object and infinitive are vocabulary reporting verbs. New skill reporting advice and instructions. 72.1 Key language reporting verbs with object and infinitive. Some reporting verbs are followed by an object and the infinitive. English often uses these verbs to report orders, advice, and instructions. Remember to buy some milk tonight. Ellie reminded me to buy some milk tonight. Reporting verb. Object. Infinitive. 72.2 Further examples reporting verbs with object and infinitive. You've been very naughty. Go to your room. I just ordered Aaron to go to his room. Please could you give me a ride to the station? Sorry I'm late. Lucia asked me to give her a ride to the station. Come to the party. You'll have a great time. We encouraged Gareth to come to the party. I hope he turns up. 72.3 How to form reporting verbs with object and infinitive. Subject. Ellie. Reporting verb. Past tense. Reminded. Object shows who was being spoken to. Object. Infinitive. Me. To buy. Rest of sentence. Some milk. The infinitive usually expresses an order, instruction, or piece of advice. 248. 72.4 Rewrite the sentences, correcting the errors. He encouraged me apply for the job. He encouraged me to apply for the job. The police ordered to them leave the room. My boss asked me go to the meeting. We encouraged him to join our choir. You asked me wash the dishes after dinner. Didn't I remind you call your parents? They remembered him to lock the door. The judge ordered her pay a fine. 72.5 Read the article and put the summary sentences in the correct order. 77 Business Today. Tonia's story. Company director Tonia Lambert tells Business Today the story of her career. Was bored with managing our local store and I needed a challenge. I went to an employment agency and asked them to help me find a new job. My main contact at the agency, Frances, persuaded me to look at business management jobs. I didn't think I'd be qualified, but she encouraged me to apply anyway, and one company asked me to attend an interview. Frances was brilliant. She knew the company well and advised me to wear casual business clothes as well as suggesting what kinds of things to say. On the day of the interview, I was so nervous that Frances practically had to order me to keep my appointment. I'm so glad I did. I got the job and loved it. 4 years later, I decided I wanted to form my own company, but my boss, Amira, asked me to stay and made me a partner. Tonia's boss made her a partner because she wanted Tonia to stay at her company. Frances encouraged Tonia to think about working in business management. Tonia went to an employment agency when she decided to change jobs. Frances gave advice to Tonia about what to wear for her interview. Tonia took Frances' advice and applied for business management posts. Frances told Tonia that she had to go to her interview. GAR company invited Tonia to go to a job interview. Phi 249. 72.6 Key language reporting verbs with negatives. To make a negative sentence with a reporting verb, object, and infinitive, place not between the object and infinitive. P. You shouldn't sign the contract. Our lawyer advised me not to sign the contract. Not makes the reported speech negative. 72.7 Further examples reporting verbs with negatives. Don't eat any more cake. It's bad for you. I think I persuaded Evan not to eat any more cake. Don't go in the water. It's dangerous. The lifeguard warned me not to go in the water. 72.8 Listen to the audio and answer the questions. Jing. Zach has been offered a job in New York. He asks his friend Leah for advice. Zach's parents are excited about his job offer. True, false, not given. Zach's parents advised him not to take the job. True, false, not given. 2. Zach's parents want him to make a quick decision. True, false, not given. 3. Zach's boss ordered him to accept the job. True, false, not given. Leah encouraged Zach to move to New York. True, false, not given. Zach's new job would be better paid. True, false, not given. Leah persuaded Zach not to take the job. True, false, not given. 1. Zach asked Leah not to tell their friends his news. True, false, not given. 250. 72.9 Say the sentences out loud as reported speech, filling in the gaps and using the verb in brackets. You must not drive too fast. You might crash the car. Opening parenthesis. Warn. He warned me not to drive too fast. I won't tolerate such rude behavior. Get out of my office now. Opening parenthesis. Order. She, them. Let's go on vacation. You need a break and it will be fun. Opening parenthesis. Encourage. He, her. Of her office. On vacation. Please don't leave the company. We'll offer you a promotion if you stay. Opening parenthesis. Persuade. The director. Me. The company. Diamond suit. I think you'd be wise to invest in this property. You could make a lot of money from it. Opening parenthesis. Advise. They. Us. In that property. 40. 72 Checklist. Verbs with object and infinitive. Are reporting verbs. Reporting advice and instructions. Review the English you have learned in Units 69 to 72. New language. Reported speech with say. Reported speech in different tenses. Reported speech with tell. Sample sentence. Luke said that he felt sick. She said she was working in New York. He told me that he wanted to learn to drive. 0. Unit 69.1, 69.6, 70.1. Reporting verbs with that. Neil admitted that he wasn't very good at golf. 71.1. Reporting verbs with object and infinitive. Ellie reminded me to buy some milk tonight. 72.1. 251. 73. What other people asked. You can use reported questions to tell someone what someone else has asked. Direct questions and reported questions have different word orders. 73.1. Key language reported questions. In reported questions, the tense moves one tense back from the tense in direct questions, and the subject and the verb swap places. New language reported questions are vocabulary collocations with raise, new skill reporting direct questions. Where are my keys? Adam asked me where his keys were. Have you seen them? The subject comes before the verb in reported questions. The tense in reported questions moves one tense back from the tense in direct questions. 73.2. Further examples reported questions. Why can't you come to the party? He asked me why I couldn't come to the party. When will they arrive? You can include an object to say who was asked the original question. The object of the reporting verb can be omitted. She asked when they would arrive. 73.3. How to form reported questions. Subject. Adam. 252. Reporting verb. Asked. The main verb in reported questions is usually ask. Single quote. You can leave out the object. Object. Question word. Me. Where. The subject comes before the verb in reported questions. Subject. His keys. The tense moves one tense back from direct speech. Verb. Were. 73.4. Say the direct questions out loud as reported questions. When will the meeting start? 3. What are we going to discuss? He asked when the meeting would start. Where will the meeting take place? Why won't Amy be at the meeting? What can I do to prepare for the meeting? What time will the meeting finish? Car. 73.5. Rewrite the sentences, putting the words in the correct order. Should he wear his, he, me, park? Asked. He asked me where he should park his car. Asked. Cooking me what? You. Tea. Dinner. 4. Was. Out. She when he asked him going. Was. Would. Stores asked we open. The when. Was. Party. Laura's to who asked. Going. 253. 73.6. Key language reporting questions with do. When a direct question uses the verb do. Leave this out of reported questions. When does the concert start? He asked me when the concert started. Reported questions leave out the auxiliary verb do. Single quote. Use the past form of the verb. 73.7. Further examples reporting questions with do. Why do you want to work for us? They asked me why I wanted to work for them. Who do you know here? She asked who I knew there. 73.8. Rewrite the sentences, correcting the errors. You asked me where he did live. You asked me where he lived. They asked her why does she want the job. 2. We asked them what day the conference start. I asked what kind of music did he like. She asked us when the train did arrived. You asked me what company do I work for. 73.9. Listen to the audio and answer the questions. Sita tells her father about her job interview. Sita thought the interview went well. True, false. Sita didn't know why she wanted the job. True, false. 2. The interviewers asked Sita about teamwork. True, false. 3. Sita was asked what salary she expected. True, false. Sita was asked to start the job immediately. True, false. 254. RR 73.10. Read the article and match the collocations to their definitions. Daily news. We must save endangered animals, says leading zoologist. A special fundraising a dinner last night. Zoologist and conservationist Mila Barnett gave a speech that first raised eyebrows, then raised the roof, as celebrity guests rushed to donate money to her cause. Barnett said she wanted to raise awareness of the danger Africa's animals face from poaching and illegal hunting. She raised fears that the lion, elephant, and rhino could disappear from the African landscape. She raised the question of the fight against poaching. When she asked the audience who would help in her campaign, nearly everyone raised their hands. Barnett is a passionate speaker and has tonight persuaded some very powerful people to raise money for this important cause. Inform people about an issue. 73 checklist. Raise eyebrows, surprise or shock people. Make people worried about an issue. Put hands in the air. Raise. Ask people about something. Make people excited about something. Collect money for a cause. Reported questions. RR collocations with raise. Reporting direct questions. 255. 74 reporting simple questions. Simple questions can be answered with yes and no. English uses if and whether to report simple questions. 74.1 Key language, if, and, whether. If the answer to a question in direct speech is yes or no, use if or whether to report the question. Whether. New language, if, and, whether. RR vocabulary verb plus preposition collocations new skill reporting simple questions. Direct question can be answered with yes or no. Single quote. Are you meeting your sales targets? My boss asked me if I was meeting my sales targets. Reported question uses if or whether. Single quote is more formal than if. Single quote. 74.2 Further examples, if, and, whether. Will you be at the meeting on Monday? Caro asked whether I would be at the meeting on Monday. In reported questions with if and whether, you can leave out the object after asked. Single quote. Do you want to stay for dinner? Lan asked me if we wanted to stay for dinner. Reported questions with if and whether, leave out the auxiliary verb do. Single quote. 74.3 How to form reported questions with if and whether. Subject. Asked. Object. If, whether, if. My boss asked me whether. 256. You can leave the object out. Subject. Verb. Rest of sentence. Was. Meeting my sales targets. If and whether mean the same thing, but whether is more formal. 74.4 Rewrite the direct questions as reported questions, filling in the gaps. Are you going to be home late? He asked me if I was going to be home late. Have you been waiting long? She asked us. 2. Do they have the figures ready? He asked. Did you go to the meeting? She asked us. Are you working late again? I asked him. 5. Do you want a glass of water? He asked you. Will you take the early flight? She asked me. 1. Did Eva meet you at the airport? She asked us. 74.5 Listen to the audio and answer the questions. Uma calls Jack to tell him how her business meeting went. Uma's meeting didn't go well. True, false, not given. Uma doesn't like her current job. True, false, not given. 2. Uma hasn't met her sales targets. True, false, not given. Uma's boss wants to improve sales. False. True. Not given. Uma has sold products in Japan. True. False. Not given. 6. Uma will work with the sales team. True, false. Not given. Uma's boss offered her more money. True, false, not given. Uma expected to be offered a new job. True, false, not given. 74.6 Use the chart to create 8 correct sentences and say them out loud. She asked me if I knew what time it was. Me. Us. If. She asked whether we knew what time it was. Could speak English. 257. 74.7 Key language reporting questions with OR. You can also use if or whether to report questions. That use or in direct speech. Does Joe want tea or coffee? Joe, Tom asked me if you wanted tea or coffee. Verb moves back to past tense. 74.8 Further examples reporting questions with OR. Star. Do you want to go by car or by train? She asked whether we wanted to go by car or by train. Do you prefer books or movies? Riku asked me if I preferred books or movies. 258. 74.9 Match the pictures to the correct sentences. 338. He asked me if I played badminton or tennis. We asked if they'd like ice cream or cake. He asked her whether she preferred cycling or walking. She asked if I wanted to cook inside or outside. I asked if I should take flowers or wine to the party. He asked whether they'd rather be rich or famous. 74.10 Read the article and write answers to the questions as full sentences. 26 Business Today. All too easy. In our exclusive report, former businessman Clive Benson, who was sentenced to 5 years in jail for money laundering, talks to Kamal Hashmi. Always dreamed of I being seriously rich. I wanted to provide for my family and I made a bad decision. I invested in a company without asking enough questions. Maybe I didn't want to know the answers. It was all too easy. The money started to pour into my bank account and everything was great. Then one day, I was arrested and accused of money laundering. I couldn't fight against it, and now I'm in prison. I used to sleep in a huge bed and eat in the best restaurants. Now I'm confined to a cell. There's no point in complaining about the situation. Who would I complain to? Now I dream about being with my family again. I hope I can count on them to wait for me and forgive me. Single quote. Why did Clive want to be rich? He wanted to provide for his family. What was the bad decision that Clive made? Greater than what started to pour into his bank account. 3. What was he accused of? What does he say there's no point in doing? 6. What does he dream about? What does he hope his family will do? 74.11 Cross out the incorrect words in each sentence to form collocations of verbs with prepositions. I invested money in, on, for my new business. It's great to know I can count on you. Greater than I want to provide for, on my children. He always dreamed of, for being famous. The water poured in the bucket. Right pointing arrow they were accused of, in stealing a car. We can't fight against their decision. I'll be ready soon. Please wait to me. 74 Checklist. If, and, whether. Verb plus preposition collocations. Reporting simple questions. 259. 75 Polite questions. Indirect questions are more polite than direct questions. In spoken English, you might use them to ask people who you don't know very well about practical issues. 75.1 Key language indirect questions. Indirect questions often start with a polite opening phrase. After the question word, the word order in indirect questions is the same as in positive statements. New language indirect questions are vocabulary practical issues. New skill asking polite questions. Where is the station? Do you know? Could you tell me? Indirect questions start with an opening phrase. Where the station is. The verb comes after the subject. 75.2 Further examples indirect questions. Do you know how much the tickets will cost? Like reported questions, indirect. Questions leave out the auxiliary verb, do. Single quote. Could you tell me why you were late? Could you tell me what time the stores close? 75.3 How to form indirect questions. 260. Opening phrase. Do you know? Question word. Subject. Verb. Could you tell me? Start with a polite opening phrase. Where? The station. Is. The verb doesn't change to the past tense for indirect questions. 75.4 Rewrite the indirect questions, putting the words in the correct order. Can I luggage? No. Where? Do. My you. Collect. Do you know where I can collect my luggage? The. You what? Tell. Could. Me meeting. Starts. Time. No bus. Do. When you leaves. Next. The. Is. The. How. No. Do long you movie. Tell. Work. Why. You. Come. Me. You could too. Can't. 75.5 Listen to the audio, then number the pictures in the order they are described. 1 mile. 261. 75.6 Key language indirect simple questions. Like reported simple questions, indirect simple questions use if, and, whether. Single quote. Do you know? Could you tell me? Polite opening phrase. Is it raining outside? H. If. It is raining outside. Weather. 75.7 Further examples indirect simple questions. Omicron. The subject comes before the verb. Do you know if that restaurant is expensive? Could. You tell me whether the train's on time? 75.8 Mark the indirect questions that are correct. Do you know what time is it? Do you know what time it is? Could you tell me when the play starts? Could you tell me when starts the play? 2. Do you know whether they arrived? Do you know whether they did arrive? Could you tell who is that lady? Could you tell me who that lady is? 4. Do you know if Shona was at the party? Do you know was Shona at the party? 6. Could you tell me what is your address? Could you tell me what your address is? Do you know where Brandon went? Do you know where did Brandon go? Could you tell me this table is reserved? Could you tell me if this table is reserved? Opening square bracket. 262. 75.9 Fill in the gaps using the words in the panel. Could you tell me if this seat is free? Do you know? Could you tell me? Is delayed? Costs. 3. Could you tell me? Working in sales? 4. Do you know? Leaves. 6. Could you tell me? Is served? When the last bus? How much this jacket? If this seat is how long you've been? What time dinner? Why the train? 75.10 Say the sentences out loud as indirect questions. Does Sada have a driving license? Do you know if Sada has a driving license? 3. Will someone meet us at the station? Is our plane going to be delayed? How far is it to the hotel? 2. What time will your clients arrive? Do the trains stop running after midnight? 75 Checklist. Indirect questions. Are practical issues. Asking polite questions. 263. 76 Wishes and regrets. English uses the verb wish to talk about present and past regrets. The tense of the verb that follows wish affects the meaning of the sentence. 76.1 Key language, WISH and past simple. Use wish with the past simple or with the modal verbs would and could to express regrets and desires about the present. I wish I earned more money. Use the past simple to talk about the present. New language, wish, with past tenses are vocabulary life events. New skill talking about regrets. This music is horrible. I wish it would stop. You can also use modal verbs to express wishes about the present. 76.2 Further examples, WISH and past simple. He wishes he could afford a big house. I wish you didn't have to work so hard. They wish the weather was better. 76.3 How to form WISH and past simple. 264. Subject. Wish. Wish. Subject. Past simple. Rest of sentence. Earned. More money. Use wish or wishes, depending on the subject. The past simple expresses wishes or regrets about the present. 76.4 Cross out the incorrect words in each sentence. Anna wishes she can buy, could buy, will buy that dress, but it's too expensive. I wish I had, have, would have a cat, but my apartment's too small for any pets. Bella wishes she lived on the coast. She loves the beach. Ooh. 100. My children are such fussy eaters. I wish they would will eat more vegetables. The phone keeps ringing. I wish someone answered, would answer, answers it. I'm sick of this bad weather. I wish it would stop, will stop, stopped raining. Joshua can't play any instruments. He wishes he plays, would play, could play the piano. 76.5 Use I wish and the past simple to talk about the situations below, speaking out loud. You can't afford to go on vacation. I wish I could afford to go on vacation. Your job is very boring. You can't play the guitar. 4 Your house is really cold. 2 You have to clean your apartment tonight. 6 The baby won't stop crying. 265. 76.6 Key language, WISH and past perfect. Use wish with the past perfect to express regrets about the past. This construction is used when it is too late for the wish to come true. I've failed my exams. I wish I had studied harder. Past perfect. 76.7 Further examples, WISH and past perfect. He's very tired. He wishes he had gone to bed early last night. My car's useless. I wish I hadn't bought such an old one. 76.8 How to form WISH and past perfect. Subject. Wish. I wish. Subject. Use wish or wishes, depending on the subject. Past perfect. Had studied. The past perfect expresses regrets about the past. Rest of sentence. Harder. 76.9 Listen to the audio and mark whether the pictures show regrets about the present or the past. A. The present. B. The past. 266. 2AB. AB. H. H. AB. 76.10 Read the letter and complete the sentences. Ella wishes she had stayed at school when she was 16. Ella wishes. At. College. 2 Ella wishes. About. The great painters. 3 Ella wishes. Still. Play the piano. Ella wishes. When. She was only 20. Ella wishes. So far. Away from her family. Dear Olive, I want to tell you about my childhood. I had to drop out of school when I was 16, and I was so disappointed because I really wanted to study art at college. I'd love to know more about the great painters. I also had to give up learning the piano. It's a real shame that I can't play it now. Married your grandfather when I was 20. Looking back, I think we were too young to get married, but we've been very happy together. It's just sad that we live so far away from our family. Lots of love, Grandma Ella. 76 Checklist. Wish, with past tenses. Life events. Talking about regrets. Review the English you have learned in Units 73 to 76. New language. Reported questions. Collocations with raise, if, and whether. Sample sentence. Adam asked me where his keys were. He asked me when the concert started. She gave a speech that raised eyebrows. My boss asked if I was meeting my targets. He asked whether I wanted tea or coffee. Indirect questions. WISH and past simple. WISH, and past perfect. C. Unit 73.1, 73.6, 73.10, 74.1, 74.7. Do you know where the station is? M. Could you tell me if it is raining outside? 75.1, 75.6. I wish I earned more money. 76.1. I wish I had studied harder. 76.6. 267.